Boutique Baby Photography. Based on the book Boutique Baby Photography, The Digital Photographer's Guide to Success in Maternity and Baby Portraiture by Mimika Cooney. Many of us fell in love with photography for the same reason. We love seeing our vision come to life with the click of a shutter. For Mimika Cooney, photography became an even deeper passion when she became a parent. She felt compelled to capture and preserve every memory of her new family using her camera. Over time, her love for this craft deepened until she decided to turn her hobby into a career. She's now the owner of a successful home-based portrait studio based in Charlotte, North Carolina. The leap from hobbyist to professional is a big one, bigger than you might think. You go from taking pictures because you love it to taking pictures to pay the bills. There's a lot of pressure and not so much pizzazz in that. Once the honeymoon stage is over, you've got to get real and get down to making choices that will help you keep your boat afloat. This is your guide to keeping your business strong so that your passion can be truly rewarding. Boutique photography is all about luxury and personal attention, as well as an exceptional product. It's quite a different experience and quite a different result from what a customer gets from a standard run-of-the-mill photography service. It's special in just about every way. The word boutique refers to any small, exclusive business offering a customized service. As a boutique photography service, you need to provide a tailored, customized, and highly personalized service to your discerning clientele. Clients will pick a boutique brand over a generic one when they're motivated to find something special that no one else has, something unique that appeals to their discerning taste, something of a higher value, and something that will appreciate in the years ahead. Contrary to what some may think, the differentiation between one boutique photographer over another usually is not about price. Who you are as a person and how your personality gels with the client is an important aspect of finding the right fit. As a boutique brand, your style should be well defined. Are you traditional, contemporary, or maybe photojournalistic? Your unique style and quality of work should be what attracts your perfect fit client. Boutique photography attracts a particular kind of clientele than a standard generic studio does. People who value quality, creativity, and personal service more than a low price or flashy one-time deal. The right type of clientele has an appreciation for artistry, trusts your judgment as an artist, and acknowledges your professional expertise. These clients will seek you out for your uniqueness, your artistic vision, and your style. The problem? This market has a much smaller pool of clients, and they're much harder to find. They also have very high expectations and expect perfection, so you can't afford to cut corners in quality and delivery. You're expected to deliver stellar results, high-quality products, and top-notch customer service. Competition is fierce, and there are new photographers entering the market all the time who are willing to give their services away for next to nothing, charging reduced prices just to get the deal. This negatively affects the entire photographic industry by lowering the perceived value of photography in the minds of consumers. If we all want to stay self-employed doing what we love, then we need to work together to keep the standard of photography high. Consumers have become wise. With the accessibility of the internet, it's easy to get rock-bottom prices on all kinds of goods and services. When it comes to photography, however, this is not necessarily a good thing. Bargain shoppers often complain when things don't turn out like they expected, and these bad experiences hurt all our reputations as professionals. Instead of cutting corners to grab a few bucks, we all need to provide a quality service. That's how we build respect for our profession. The truth of the matter is, most startup businesses won't make it past the first 5 years. If you want to be one of the survivors, you need to invest some effort in creating lasting relationships with your clients. There are a few basic factors in creating that boutique feel that may seem like common sense, but they play an important role in creating a positive and memorable experience for both you and your client. Keep your studio area clean, fresh, and inviting. Use lighting to create a relaxing mood. Add room scents for that fresh feeling. And don't forget to provide comfortable furniture for your guests. Offer refreshments. Branded water bottles are a nice special touch. A box of sweets acts as a great incentive for kids. Remember your client's name and the names of their children and spouse. When talking with them, using their names is an easy way to show that you care. The way that you present yourself is an indication of what the client can expect from your company. So make sure your first impression is a good one. Give attention to your attire and to your body language for an appealing professional appearance. Offer something different. Find out what the competition provides and then go the extra mile to make yourself stand out. For example, instead of simply handing over images on a CD or printed on photographic paper, consider embellishing your images with hand-painted frames, custom collages, photo jewelry, metallic paper finishes, or leather albums. Use ribbons, bows, boxes, and handwritten thank you notes for that boutique feel. Remember to always provide excellent customer service. This is a major factor in separating yourself from the competition. Provide immediate follow-up after a client has picked up their order to make sure they're happy with their purchase. As photographers, the final outcome of our work is a tangible product. However, we're primarily in a service-oriented business. Beyond the final prints or albums clients will take home with them, we're selling our expertise and a personal connection between ourselves and the client. Remember, pregnant and new moms have spent a lot of time considering on nursery themes, clothing, baby gear, and other products and services related to their new arrival. Their professional portraits should be with plenty of care and personal attention. When you promote yourself as a top-notch professional, clients will look to you for expertise. It's important to provide them with just that. You need to be capable, confident, and in control. If you are, your clients will feel that they've made the right choice. Mimika uses a 5-step process when dealing with a client that prevents issues regarding expectations and price arising down the line. One of the worst things that can happen is sticker shock, when the client is stunned by your prices and regretful that they went to the effort of having their photos made. Never take on a job without first educating yourself about the individual client's needs and educating the client about what it is you offer. Your first contact with a client will often be by telephone or by email. Ask questions about the client's interests and needs. Ask about their children, or if this will be their first baby, ask whether they know the gender or have picked out nursery colors. Using phrases like, "You're going to love," and "We're here to guide you," will enforce a positive mindset. Ask questions that encourage a positive response. Keep your tone of voice upbeat and get them excited about you being excited. Explain how things will work and get them to commit to an appointment immediately. Telling them you'll send an email with appointment options only introduces delays that result in lost interest. Stay in control of the conversation by offering either-or options, such as, "We have appointments available on Monday at 10 a.m. or at 12 p.m. Which would you prefer?" It's a mistake to commit to photographing a client without first consulting with them. How will you know what their likes, dislikes, taste, and budget are if you go straight to the session appointment? With pre-planning, misunderstandings and disappointments can be avoided. Some photographers call this pre-shoot meeting a consultation. Mimika prefers to call it a design session because this conveys that a commitment is required and that this meeting is part of the planning process. It's important to explain things such as the time commitment required, product choices, package options, payment facilities, and your cancellation policy. If you offer installment payments, mention it now. Financial issues may be a barrier to commitment that your client is too embarrassed to talk about. It's ideal to have the client visit your studio space so that you can walk them around and show them what your finished pieces look like hung on the walls. As you talk to the client, you can reinforce the boutique sensibility by using terms like quality, caring, custom, and handmade. During your conversation, make sure you cover your background options, clothing, props, and lighting selections so that you know what style and lighting setup you need to prepare for. Make notes of your conversation so that you can refer to it later. Give them something to take home as a reminder. At Mimika's studio, she gives each client a goodie bag that contains a pricing menu, promotional offers, appointment reminders, wall decor planning worksheet, a measuring tape, a pen, branded chocolates, and discount coupons from other vendors. Before your clients arrive, set the mood by playing soft music, freshening up the room, and setting out refreshments. Making them feel like welcome guests creates a warm environment. Your pre-planning will have allowed you to prepare the studio or shooting area with the correct equipment so that you don't spend time fiddling with gear in front of the client. This is especially important when it comes to photographing kids. Throughout the shooting process, use positive and encouraging words so that they feel good about themselves. Their genuine enjoyment will be evident in the images. This is where your personality and enthusiasm for what you do really needs to shine through. It often feels strange for the ordinary person who is not a model to pose in a way that is flattering for photographs. So explain that even though it feels weird, it looks good. Add to this excitement by saying things like, "This is going to look wonderful over the baby's crib," or "This is perfect for over the fireplace." These suggestions put a picture in the mind's eye and plant the seed for their purchasing decisions. Too many photographers avoid having clients return for an ordering appointment, taking the easy route of uploading the images to a website for clients to purchase at home in their own time. There are several reasons why providing only online ordering is a very bad idea, especially if you want to build a boutique business. First, you have to edit or retouch all the images you post, and working on more images than your client will buy costs you time and money. Second, you can't generate excitement when your artwork is displayed so small. Third, allowing for an extended time to order only lowers the size of the order. The more time elapses, the higher the likelihood your sale will dwindle. Finally, you can't provide expert advice on the best finishing options. It's extremely hard to sell framed images when the portraits are viewed online only. Similarly, you can't make on-the-spot changes or design custom collages if your client isn't sitting in front of you to convey their opinions. Projecting the images in a slideshow set to music is the best way to generate excitement and sales. Schedule the ordering appointment no longer than 2 weeks from the date of the session. Even though this is technically when the client will view their images, it's also when they'll place their order. As such, calling it the ordering appointment mentally prepares them to expect to invest their money. The first time they see their collection, play it as a slideshow in which each image is displayed individually. Avoid distractions or talking during this initial slideshow. Telling your client that you only keep the images they order encourages them to place their order on the spot. Adding a little bit of pressure is not a bad thing. You certainly don't want them to think they can go home and make their ordering decision later. Most clients will feel like they don't want to lose any of their precious memories, so you can offer products like proof books that allow them to keep the entire collection, but only once a minimum order level is reached. After all, you don't want them just ordering proof books. At this point, take down all the order details, or better yet, use software like ProSelect to streamline the ordering process. You can offer credit card facilities or installment payments to make the investment easier for your client and provide you with a monthly cash flow. Explain your turnaround time, noting that quality takes time, so they know when they can expect their order to be ready. As soon as your client leaves your studio, make out a handwritten thank you note for their order and pop it in the mail. Simple gestures of appreciation go a long way to impressing them and showing you value their investment. Making a separate appointment for your client to collect their order is another important step in generating enthusiasm. Even though it means much more time for you and your client, it's much more personal than just sticking their prints in the mail. Knowing when your client will be coming also allows you to prepare the area for maximum impact. Consider putting their art piece on an easel under an overhead light, so that when they step into the room, they're immediately taken by the sight of their own imagery. Telling them how wonderful you think it's turned out also gives them a sense of ease that you're confident and avoids the dreaded buyer's remorse. The way that you package your portraits also makes a big difference. Remember to use pretty bows and bags for that boutique touch. Adding a little something extra that they weren't expecting, such as wallet prints or chocolates, will generate much more love for your brand. Ultimately, a boutique business should go the extra mile to make their clients feel so special and appreciated that they can't stop talking about all the wonderful things you do. Following a structured workflow system allows you to keep your standards high and avoid costly mistakes. For each order, a production checklist should tell you exactly what stage you're at: retouching, printing, assembly, delivery, and so on. A portrait is more than just a snapshot. Through technical know-how, practiced artistry, and genuine love for the craft, a portrait photographer can capture a moment in time and make it last forever. A well-done portrait has the ability to convey someone's true essence. It blends what is seen with the eye with what is felt in the heart. Looking good while pregnant isn't always easy. Sometimes even feeling good isn't easy either. To provide a service where you can make an expecting mom look and feel good is a special thing indeed. Handling your pregnant client requires a lot of TLC. Encourage mom to share her excitement about all the changes and the wonderful things to come. Creating a comfortable atmosphere will help settle her nerves and pave the way for an enjoyable experience. The ideal time to capture the pregnant glow is when mom is between weeks 28 and 35 of her pregnancy. During these weeks, the beautiful baby bump has a perfect shape. The mom-to-be has more energy, and there's no fear of imminent labor. Many moms will be worried about stretch marks and blemishes. Put their minds at ease by advising them that you provide full retouching to give their skin that delicate glow and make them look their best. Encouraging other family members to join in the session can make it more personal and provide a more complete story of their family. It also helps mom to relax, especially when dad is there to offer support. Older children can also be included for those intimate close-ups of big brother or sister hugging mom's belly. One of the most common questions asked by clients preparing for a photo session is what clothing to wear. Advise them to keep their clothing choices simple and solid. It's best to avoid distracting patterns, dots, stripes, and branding. These will date the photo in years to come. Mom should bring clothing that is form-fitting rather than oversized, so that the clothing helps to show off her baby bump rather than hide it. Avoid the chicken fillet look by covering the upper arms with sleeves. You can bring a little personality into the session by asking mom to bring clothing that represents her personality. Cowboy boots, designer heels, baseball caps, whatever represents her unique personality. It's better to have more clothing to choose from than to have too little, so encourage mom to bring plenty of options for you to pick through. A little bit of preening goes a long way toward giving a portrait that finished look. If mom has the time to arrange it, a trip to the salon just before her portrait session is a good idea. If this is not feasible, you can offer her some great advice on how to prepare herself for the session. Advise mom to arrive with cleanly washed hair, preferably with a little mousse or gel applied to tame those flyaway hairs. Make sure their nails are clean and manicured. It's also advisable to moisturize the skin before the session so that the hands, belly, and arms have a smooth complexion. Applying makeup makes a huge difference in the look of the final portraits and greatly minimizes the need for retouching. Suggest applying her makeup a little heavier than usual. This helps compensate for the photographic lights, which tend to wash out the complexion. The subject should apply a color-matching foundation, not too heavy though, with bronzer or blusher on the cheekbones. Adding darker than usual mascara and eyeliner will make their eyes stand out. Lip gloss or natural colored lipstick looks far better than bright reds or heavier tones and helps to outline the lips. When you have the client dressed, styled, and in position in the shooting area, explain the most effective way to stand for a flattering, basic pose that works for any maternity session. Just have her turn her hips to a 45-degree angle from the camera so the shape of her belly is more visible. Her front foot should be pointing toward the camera and her weight pushed out away from the camera toward her hip. A bend in the knees will tilt her pelvis forward and create a comfortable sitting position for better stability. Never let her stand with her knees locked or she'll fall forward. A pregnant woman's blood pressure can drop dramatically if she stands too long in the same position. So have her sway from side to side in between pose adjustments to keep the blood flowing. Offer sips of water, a break to take a seat, and sucking sweets if she gets dizzy. Use a fan to keep cool air on her. During pregnancy, the body temperature is elevated, so she really will feel the heat. Another great pose for showing off the shape and size of the belly is a complete profile shot, where mom faces the side at a 90-degree angle to the camera. Turn her head into the light and have her lift her chin slightly to avoid the chicken neck look. Posing the hands correctly is important for creating a sense of flow in the portraits. Make sure that the back of the hands are not facing the camera, as they tend to reflect a lot of light and can appear exaggerated in size. Avoid spider fingers where all the fingers are spread apart. Instead, keep the fingers looking natural by adding a slight bend. Think of softly bent wrists like a pianist and poised fingers like a ballerina. With a pregnant mom, the worst thing we can do is slap on a big, flat lighting source that makes her look fat and frumpy. There are simple lighting strategies that will be much more flattering. Just think of the words snap, crackle, pop as easy reminders to help create a portrait with depth and dimension. To create snap in a portrait, you need to have a main light source that is soft and flattering, and you need to position it at a 45-degree angle to the subject's nose and elevated just above the subject's eyes. Placing the main light at an angle ensures the shape of the face is sculpted by a shadow on the side of the nose. Add some crackle to your portraits by creating separation between the subject and the background. This can easily be achieved by adding a background light to the mix. You can place the background light either perpendicular to your background or pointed at an angle toward the background for a spotlight effect. Just remember to keep your subject at least 3 feet away from the background to avoid any spill falling onto their hair or face. For even more separation, add an additional hair light at 45 degrees behind your subject's shoulder, pointing toward the main light. The pop in a portrait involves the eyes, which are the most important part of the subject's face in portraits. To add the pop, you can use an additional light or a reflector. Placing a very large reflector at a 45-degree angle to the subject's nose on the opposite side from your main light will do the trick. Another option is profile lighting, using 1 or even 2 lights to produce a more dramatic mood. Considered subtractive lighting, this technique allows you to hide areas of the subject in shadow and highlighting only those areas you want to be prominent. In this case, that's the pregnant belly. This type of lighting also works well for a portrait of mom and dad both facing the light source so that you see their profiles and their hands on the belly. Babies are best photographed in their birthday suits, just plain naked. Most clothing swallows up a newborn and disguises what's so cute about their tiny shape. The parents' own clothing choices should be simple and neutral. You want to highlight their relationship and special bond with their new baby, not their outfits. Moms just love seeing daddy shirtless holding his little baby bundle. And there really is something special and heartwarming about seeing a dad's strength in contrast with the delicateness of a newborn baby. Using dramatic lighting, you can artistically hide any areas that should not be seen. With most newborns, we're tempting fate having the diaper off for those cute naked baby portraits. Don't panic when the inevitable happens. Just be prepared for accidents, keeping cleanup supplies at the ready. A studio equipped with an easily wipeable floor, plenty of antibacterial wipes, paper towels, and hand sanitizer is advisable. It's also a good idea for adults to bring an extra set of clothing. The probability is very high that someone is going to get wet. It's completely understandable that a child might cry during a photo session. The bright flashing lights, strange noises, and unfamiliarity can cause anxiety. If that happens, it's best to pause the photography and give the little one a hug and cuddle to make them feel secure. A sound machine that mimics womb sounds can help. Also, have mom feed the baby in between poses. A full belly helps him sleep. Another great tip is to place a heating pad gently warmed in the microwave under a blanket and lay the baby on their side or tummy. Crying may also be a sign that the child has passed their patience threshold. In that case, there's no use in forcing the matter. Just wrap up the session quickly. They may even be unwell or coming down with a cold. If that's the case, reschedule the session for when they're feeling better. However, if it really is just a case of nerves, then a really talented photographer should be able to offer distractions to both the mom and the child and refocus them when they feel at ease again. Using a simple lighting setup helps to produce consistent results without you making many adjustments during the session. This is important because timing is crucial. The main light source should be large and soft. It needs to be forgiving on the skin tones and to hide the apparent tiredness the new parents will be feeling. Props can enhance the character of the portrait and are a great way to showcase the baby's small size and add a sense of storytelling. Flower boxes, suitcases, hanging baskets, bean bags, glass bowls, wooden boxes, etc. The possibilities are endless when you make a trip to the craft market and ask yourself, will a baby fit in this? Babies love soft texture, so incorporate blankets, fabric, and rugs as something for the baby to lie on. The moment a baby takes his or her first breath is the first time a portrait should be taken. You may want to offer an in-hospital birth service, providing a collection of images of the baby's birth or first few hours of life. For these photos, the job of the photographer is to capture the fleeting moments like a documentary, allowing the new parents to focus completely on their new arrival without worrying about missing any of their precious memories. Obviously, births are unpredictable by nature, which makes planning almost impossible. Therefore, you'll need to work closely with the parents and keep your cell phone close by for a last-minute rush to the hospital. It's entirely up to you to decide on your availability and the number of these types of bookings you're prepared to commit to. Offering availability between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. is reasonable. Commit to taking the photos within baby's first 24 hours, giving you a window of time to plan around. Another service you may want to provide is to produce an online birth announcement within 24 hours of taking the photos. This is a slideshow set to music featuring baby's first portraits along with their birth stats. It's imperative that you plan ahead and have the parents both sign a contract of service. They should also sign and complete a model release to cover displaying the image collection online. Make sure your clients also notify their healthcare providers so that you can be added to their list of approved guests. Some hospitals are quite strict about who may or may not visit the new family, especially within the first few hours of recovery, so cover this point up front. Pricing this service is based on time, so determine what your hourly rate is and apply that to the number of hours you expect to spend. The newborn studio session should be conducted when the baby is 7 to 10 days old, when the infant is still a heavy sleeper and curled up in a fetal position. This will be the longest of the first-year sessions, lasting 2 to 4 hours. A newborn baby cannot be rushed and will need breaks to be fed and changed. It takes time and lots of patience to hold steady until the time is right. Tiny babies have times of alertness, giving you the opportunity to capture their eyes open. To get those sweet, sleepy baby shots, you need to take some extra time to rock, sing, and settle. Once baby is fully asleep, it should be easy to manipulate and pose them how you'd like. A heavy sleeper looks adorable gently placed in props and everyday items that show their size and give us an idea of perspective. For most new parents, a visit to your studio will be the first outing with a baby since its birth. It's important to create a warm, relaxed environment so the mom will be at ease. If mom is stressed out, the baby will sense it, so it's very important she feels calm when preparing for the shoot. Advise the mother to give herself plenty of preparation time and to plan on a few extra items of clothing since it's almost guaranteed that the baby will get sick on their pretty clothes just as they walk out the door. The best time to capture a newborn's natural smiles and good mood is in the morning. They should be well rested and well fed. Babies have a very small window of happy time, so don't use it up by playing with the baby before the session begins. At 3 months of age, the little one has become more alert and gained control of their head, so they can hold it up for a few moments. A 3-month-old should be able to be placed on the tummy and push up on their elbows. At this age, babies can roll onto their sides and from their back to their belly. They can also manipulate their hands and grasp a toy. This is a great time to capture that gorgeous smile, so aim for some close-ups of the baby's face too. Depending on baby's energy level, you could do 2 or 3 clothing changes, or no clothes at all. Naked shots of the baby lying on their tummy looking up are great. Use pillows to prop the baby up for a more upright position. At 6 months, the baby has undergone some significant changes. At this stage, babies can sit in the tripod position with hands forward or even independently without any propping required. They can hold toys and props, and their expressions are very animated. Including siblings at this stage works better since you won't have to worry about the baby being totally supported by the other child. An updated group portrait of all the family members is also worth doing at this point, since the baby is a little bigger and smiling from ear to ear. At 9 months, babies become more curious and have figured out cause and effect. Picking up and dropping things is a firm favorite, so using baskets, buckets, and small props will work well to keep the baby engaged. The baby will be proud to show off their standing and cruising skills, so provide a prop, basket, furniture, table, or a pair of legs that they can hang on to in a standing position. Playing a game of peekaboo is bound to elicit some cute giggles and laughs. A 9-month-old can also experience some separation anxiety, so make sure mom or dad is sitting close by to offer reassurance. Baby's first birthday brings lots of excitement and celebration. At this age, the child's attention span will also be extremely short, so it's important to keep the session progressing quickly and to change the prompt cues often so they stay engaged. Don't keep saying, "Smile, smile, look here" all the time, hoping to capture a look of interest. Instead, try varying different toys and distractions. The 1-year-old session is an ideal time to schedule what Mimika calls a trash the cake session, in which the child is given the opportunity to go wild on a birthday cake. Advise parents to bring the outfits they want their child to wear so that you can photograph those first. Then get to the messy and fun part of destroying a birthday cake. Creating a collection of the images in the order they were taken makes for a great album, slideshow, and card collection. At the end of the baby's first year, you'll have a lovely collection of images that tell a story of the child's growth and development. This is the perfect time to create a custom-designed storybook album. Incorporating design elements and color schemes to match their taste and style will make it even more special. A newborn baby photographed on its own is a wonderful keepsake for the parents, but including older siblings is also a very special kind of portrait and an opportunity to achieve higher sales. Incorporating other children into your photography services requires a special kind of focus and a lot of patience. Photographing children is 80% psychology and 20% camera technique. It's the emotion and personality of the child that makes images endearing to a parent. Even images that are not technically flawless will often sell just because the parent loves the expression. That's not to say that bad technique and poor quality images are acceptable. Absolutely not. As a professional, you must provide exceptional quality. But it's important to recognize that a big part of your success relies on your ability to elicit and capture great expressions. During your photo sessions, use expressions and dialogue that kids find fun and amusing to get them to loosen up and laugh. Act a little silly, sing their favorite songs with them, talk about their favorite television show, or ask what their favorite candy is. Don't ask kids to say cheese, however. Many parents try to coax a smile out of their little ones by using this phrase whenever they bring out their camera. As a result, kids often associate these words with a forced smile. Just keep the banter going and try to make them say words that end with E for a natural smile. If you think of ways to use mental distractions and associations, you'll be pleased with the results. Children are usually at their best mid-morning, so schedule the session for a time when they're happy and well-rested. It's a great idea for kids to bring along a few of their favorite small toys. Having some familiar things nearby will help them feel more secure. Don't worry about potential tears or tantrums. As long as you stay calm and don't rush things, you'll be prepared for any eventuality. The surprise of flashing lights can be a little scary, so give them some time to get comfortable. Consider having mom or dad sit with them in the photo so they'll see that it's no big deal. After 10 minutes, they'll usually be happy to be the center of attention. If the child shows any signs of illness, such as a runny nose, flushed face, coughing, or general crankiness, advise the parents to reschedule their appointment when the child has recovered. Both the parents and the child will enjoy the experience far more if everyone is content and happy. Keeping things moving along during a session by directing your clients in a calm and friendly but authoritative tone will help you stay in control. Mom and Dad can be very helpful in the studio, but at times parents can get too much into the action, making comments and yelling out commands. Besides being distracting, this can elevate the tension in the room. The voices get louder as everyone fights for the child's attention. In these instances, courteously ask the parent to take a seat so that you can do your job. It works well when parents stand behind the photographer so young children can look in the direction of the camera. On a related note, grandparents can be either a help or a hindrance as well. In general, it's best to keep the people in the shooting area to a minimum. When it comes to posing, it's best not to force children into a pose. The results will be stiff and stilted. Children instinctively know what feels natural, and best results come from those poses. A child may be more cooperative if you give them some choice. Offering them an option to choose between toys, dress-up clothes, or props will help gain their trust and makes them more amenable. Use direct requests in a calm, friendly voice to guide their movements. If all else fails to get them to sit still, have the kids lie down and photograph them from above. Using a little bribery to achieve a child's cooperation is not a bad thing, as long as you do what you promise. Kids take you literally, so if you say they can pick from the candy box, don't forget to let them. A child's attention span is short, and they'll lose interest quickly once the novelty of a new place wears off. It usually takes them 10 minutes to warm up, then you have 10 minutes of optimal shooting time, followed by 10 minutes of them getting overstimulated. Keep the activities moving along at a quick pace. Watch for signs that the child has had enough, and start to wind things down when you sense the end is near. As a professional photographer trying to sell yourself, you have roughly a gazillion possible ways to get your message out there. Cable TV, internet, blogs, podcast, radio, social media, and so on. That seems like a great thing, but there's a serious downside. Consumers are now flooded with such a barrage of information that they've become immune to what worked in the past. Gone are the days of placing an ad in the local yellow pages and expecting the phone to ring. Businesses are trying harder and harder to attract new customers and to retain any customers they have. The competition is more fierce than ever before. So how can a business break through the noise? And when you do, what do you say? To answer those questions, you need to determine whose attention you most want to attract. In the boutique baby photography business, that means you need to reach women. As you might imagine, males and females are wired differently and respond better to different marketing approaches. When it comes to purchasing, the primary difference between men and women is that men focus on the features, while women focus on the benefits. Men will look at a price tag and assess whether the purchase has the right features to meet his demands of functionality. Women look at how the product or service makes her feel. Rather than just point out features, you should try to communicate the benefits of your business. Market yourself as a service-oriented business rather than a product-oriented business. Make potential clients see your business as one that helps and connects with people on a personal level. For the boutique photographer, this means you need to sharpen your skills and tailor your business practices. You must adapt to the new way of thinking and become more creative in how you attract and retain clients. Few self-employed photographers can afford to hire an advertising agency to run their marketing campaigns. But just as a professional ad executive would do when designing a new campaign, you can build a plan that is centered on the core values of your target audience. Ask yourself some pertinent questions about your target audience. What are their tastes? What inspires and moves them? Once you have a better understanding of who your customers are, Then you can make decisions that will steer your marketing efforts in the right direction. An advertising executive would also ask you, what is your core message? You should be able to reply in one sentence. If you don't know what your one thing is, you need to take a long, hard look at yourself and your work. Defining your core message will give you a barometer by which to measure all opportunities, especially those that require you to spend money. This will help ensure that you get a return on your investment. When it comes to branding, you want your business to stand out in a busy marketplace. Keeping your message simple will have more of an effect than overcomplicating it with words and waffle. You also need to keep your tagline, business colors, logo, and style consistent and in line with who you are. If you keep changing your message, no one's going to recognize you. Keep it simple, stick with it, and you'll get through to your potential customers. You might consider advertising a one-way conversation. The company is pushing their message to tell what they have to offer. Marketing, on the other hand, creates more of a two-way conversation. The company is creating a pull for their product or service. Marketing, or a pull strategy, is far more effective at creating a demand. What this means for photographers is that you can't expect to succeed just by pushing your business card under prospects' noses. You have to create a pull for what you have to offer by establishing a desire for your style, a demand for your quality, and an eagerness for your way of doing business. Your website plays a primary role in your overall marketing efforts. Without a website, there's no way you can compete in today's marketplace. Your website is like your online business card and resume. It's a storefront that's open all day, every day. There are many service providers out there that will register your domain name, provide, and design your site. Before you part with your cash, however, consider some of the following pointers. A website must have a purpose. Ask yourself what you want to achieve with your website. Most boutique photographers have an initial goal of attracting more customers. Getting customers to your website is important, and it's one measurement of a website success. However, attracting more customers is only part of the measure of success. Attracting the correct visitors from your target market is crucial. Once you get them to your website, you also need to communicate a strong message that will achieve your objectives. Before you start figuring out how to get a website or improve on an existing one, take a moment to think about the following 4 points. Who is your target market? As a baby photographer, your target market is mothers or mothers-to-be. Keep this in mind as you focus on your website. What do your visitors want? What information can you provide to answer their questions about your style, your policies, and your product offerings? What is the purpose or objective of your website? You may want to attract new customers or become more connected with your existing customers. What primary message do you want to communicate? You have a lot to say, but focusing on a primary message helps you motivate your customers. There are some specific guidelines to keep in mind when designing a website intended to increase sales, generate inquiries, and create orders for your services. First, make the most of your homepage by making it clear and relevant. Provide links on your homepage to all of your important products and services. Streamline your site structure so that it's easy for visitors to find the information they want. Minimize the number of clicks needed to reach all of your important information. Use a uniform page layout to make your site more appealing and your message more consistent. Offer enough information about your products and services that visitors can potentially place an order or make a purchase based on it. Alternatively, give a good introduction to your products and services. Then make it really simple for them to make contact with you. Finally, keep good visual design in mind. A website that looks like it was designed by an amateur who put very little effort into the content suggests to visitors that the company can't be very successful. After all, they couldn't even spend a bit of money to have a decent website designed. It doesn't take a lot to get a professional-looking website. If you can get your product and service information together, half the job is already done. All you need then is a professional-looking logo, some good pictures, and a decent website designer. Pretty soon you've got yourself an attractive, high-quality website that gives visitors a great first impression. Now that your website is up and running, how can you generate traffic to it? One of the primary methods is through search engine optimization. In order to provide relevant search results, search engines such as Google, Bing, and Yahoo index websites according to the information on their pages. Search engine optimization is a way for websites to improve the results of this analysis, thereby improving the visibility of your website in search results. You need to create a website that the search engines can index and display when searching for your keywords. If you don't provide enough text or the right text, your site won't rank highly in user search results. Let's go through the process. Picking the right keywords is an important part of ensuring visitors will find your website. Google has a free tool at www.google.com/sktool that you can use to determine the correct keywords for your site. You can be specific and narrow it down to your location to further enhance the results. The services you provide can be put into words, and these words are the content that is the backbone of your website. If you think you can't write, try putting into words what you say on a daily basis when you talk to potential customers about your service. This is content you can use. Keep your content fresh and regularly updated. Each page has to have a primary message, one clear and concise message backed up by your keywords. Of course, we're in the image business, so your photos also tell an important story. But you can describe your photos and further expand their narrative. You need to build a page of information around your selected keywords. For example, if you have the keywords baby photographer, you should build a page talking about you as a baby photographer. Your keyword should appear in the page title. This is not shown on the website itself, but in the browser's title bar above the menu buttons. The same keyword should be used as your heading that appears within the browser window below the tools but above the site content. Adding keywords in the body text helps increase the relevancy. You can also use photos and slideshows, but articulating your interest and offerings in words builds confidence among your visitors. Many photographers purchase templates for Flash websites with the idea that this will most effectively showcase their photographic work. Unfortunately, there's a big disadvantage to building a website completely using Flash. Search engines cannot read data from images, which is really what Flash does, makes every page an image. This means that your website will be difficult to find in the search results for the keywords you're targeting. All that fancy Flash imagery may look pretty, but it's pretty much useless if no one can find your website. You can add Flash components, such as a slideshow, but make sure you have actual text relevant to the keywords you want to focus on. Establishing reciprocal links also provides your website with a better ranking, especially when the other sites are in a related industry. As a baby photographer, sharing reciprocal links with a baby clothing boutique, a parenting website, or a children's bookstore could enhance your ranking. There are other ways to increase traffic to your website. One is pay-per-click campaigns, a type of paid advertising based on keywords. You pick the keywords and decide how much you're willing to pay the host website for each person who clicks on your ad. You also determine the location of users you want to target. This could be global, national, or local, as well as the length of time you want your campaign to run. Paying for listings on free or paid directories can also be useful if they're specific to whom you're targeting. In the wedding industry, directories are a popular form of gaining traffic and exposure. In the baby photography field, things are a little different. In general, moms need to hear about your company several times before they gain enough trust to call. Therefore, for baby photographers, directory listings don't tend to generate many direct referrals. Instead, they serve primarily to enhance where your website appears in the results of popular search engines. Business is personal. We buy from those we like and trust. As business people, we create trust among our friends and clients by being honest, open, caring, and upbeat. Communicate these aspects of yourself in every way you can. The more relevant information you share about yourself and your company, the more engaging you become. Reaching out to other people in your community, whether on screen or in real life, is smart business. Here's an overview of methods that work. It's easy and free to sign up for a personal Facebook account. This type of account allows you to add personal information, post photos, links, videos, and make personal comments. Setting up albums of photos is a great and free way to market your work. The downside of combining your personal and professional information is that you have to be careful what you share and ensure you don't inadvertently offend anyone. Not everyone wants to know every little arbitrary detail of your life, so make sure your posts are worth reading. Avoid profanity, personal comments about other people, and links to distasteful sites. Remember, you are your brand, and people will judge you accordingly. Facebook pages for businesses are particularly well suited to individual artists and to businesses in which an official member of the organization will manage the content and interaction with users. The nice part of Facebook pages is that they're completely public, meaning that a Facebook account is not required to view them. If the visitor does have a Facebook account, they can click the like button at the top of the page to be added as a fan. Then every time you add a post or advertise your services, an alert will appear in their Facebook newsfeed as if they were one of your friends. This makes it easy to build a network of like-minded businesses or people. Another benefit is the Insight tool that's emailed to you regularly. This provides statistics on how many people have viewed your page, demographic information about those viewers, and details about your visitor interaction with your page. There are several applications available that can improve Facebook's interactivity. One good one is called Networked Blogs. This app networks the new posts you make on your blog and on Twitter so that they appear as posts on your Facebook profile too. Blogs have become a must-have trend in recent years. Because additions are so easy to make, blogs let internet users learn about you and your business in the most up-to-date fashion. Having a website will always remain important. It performs the role of your storefront. Your blog, on the other hand, acts like your salesperson within the shop. People buy from people they like, so the more likable you can make your blog, the better it will be for your business. There are many blog platforms available. Some popular ones are WordPress, Blogger, Blogspot, and Tumblr. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages that need to be assessed on the basis of your needs. As a photographer, you need your images to speak for you. So pick a platform that allows you to easily update your content, upload large-sized images, and view them with crisp quality. Twitter offers an effective and meaningful way to communicate with existing and potential customers about who you are. Twitter posts, or tweets, are short and sweet and open to anyone who wants to read or follow them. There are some Twitter diehards whose primary goal seems to be attracting as many followers as possible. As a boutique photographer, you're trying to provide a personal service, so sheer numbers aren't very beneficial. The quality of your contacts matters much more than the quantity. If you don't regularly remind your audience who you are and what you do, they'll soon forget. As the saying goes, out of sight, out of mind. If you aren't in the forefront of your potential and existing clients' minds, they can easily be stolen away by the competition. To accurately manage your database of email contacts, you need the help of software. It would be a very time-consuming task to individually track the email address of every potential past and current customer. Fortunately, there are companies that provide storage and management systems to make things far easier for you. The best, most accurate way of building your email list is to add a link to your website from which users can choose to add themselves to your list. The second best way is to manually add each client's email address to your database as and when you encounter them. Give notice to your local media about what you're up to, your work with a charity, an award you won, or a workshop you're teaching. You may need to send it more than once to get a response, so don't give up after one try. Your business card is kind of like underwear. You shouldn't leave home without it. Make sure that it's legible, features high-resolution photos, and provides all of your contact information in an easy-to-read font. Make sure you use nice cardstock and have them printed professionally. Often, people can't imagine how their child would look in a professional photo. It's only when they see something that inspires them that they say, "I want that." Providing wall art to be displayed in public places, such as hospitals, doctors' offices, and boutique stores, is a great way of gaining exposure. These businesses will usually be grateful for artwork to decorate their walls and happy to offer your business card to those who inquire about it. The best way to engage this type of opportunity is to approach it as a donation, which means you'll have to cover the cost. It's vital to keep regular contact with the individual or business in order to maintain their high level of enthusiasm for your work. As any business owner knows, the best business comes from word of mouth. Business generated from personal recommendation and referrals won't cost you a single advertising dollar. There are things you can do to effectively get the talk engine moving. At Mimika Studio, every order includes a set of personalized business card-size brag cards featuring the client's favorite image from the session. On the back of the card is a thank you incentive, a $100 gift certificate for both the client and a friend when someone they referred books a session. Offering a substantial incentive better motivates your client to share. Another creative idea is to provide personalized playdate cards featuring mom's contact info and an adorable photo of her children. When your client talks with another mom about getting their kids together to play, she can hand her friend a playdate card with all her info. If all goes well, the friend will comment on the photo and your client will tell her friend all about you. Make sure your contact information is also included discreetly on the card. You may even want to include a special offer for both the referring mom and the new friend as an incentive to get them talking. Helping charities generates goodwill for your business and more love for your brand, for it showcases you as generous and authentic. Additionally, It's personally gratifying to help others who are less fortunate. Mimika coordinates annual calendar projects that have raised close to $10,000 for charities. Each year uses a different theme, which has other benefits in further developing a unique style. For photographers who are interested in setting up their own charity project, Mimika offers a charity planning pack for purchase on her website at www.mimikacooney.com. After a session, sending a handwritten note is a nice way of thanking the client for placing their trust in you, and is much more personal than an email. Another idea is sending out birthday cards to your past clients. Keep an accurate database of your clients so that you can send them on time. You can also include a coupon or gift certificate to give them an incentive to do business with you again. As you've learned with this guide, as a boutique baby photographer, you need to go above and beyond the basics in everything you do. From your marketing strategies to your photography skills, to your customer service, to the products and services you offer. Set yourself apart from the competition by being professional, responsive, and genuine, as well as by delivering an exquisite product. And clients, both young and old, will have reason to smile. For more information on all of the techniques presented in this seminar, look for the book Boutique Baby Photography by Mimika Cooney, available at www.AmherstMedia.com and wherever photography books are sold. Mimika Cooney is an international award-winning photographer who owns a home-based maternity and baby portrait studio based in Charlotte, North Carolina. Born in South Africa, Mimika received her photographic training in England and is an accredited licentiate by the British Institute of Professional Photographers and the Society of Wedding and Portrait Photographers.